Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, the YouTube channel, and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here via spring.me/AaronRift, so let's not waste any time here. Let's get started with the first one from CM Punk 303. Wonder if he's a CM Punk fan. Hey Aaron, with WWE offering a WWE Network free trial with no credit card required, does this mean the Attitude Era has returned? No, I made that part up. He actually said, does this mean it has failed? What can WWE to make the fans want to buy the network? Okay, a couple of things here. First off, I feel that everybody in the United States that has wanted to buy the WWE Network has done so already. So to me, it definitely comes off as desperation to continue to heavily plug the network, free trial, and all this other stuff. All these gimmicks that they're doing to try and generate more subscribers. There's no question that the domestic numbers for the WWE Network are disappointing. No doubt. Does that mean it's a failure? Absolutely not. WWE has the right idea with the network. It is the future technology. It is a tremendous service. I think that WWE made a few mistakes with the execution of it. First problem was the pricing. As much as I love paying $9.99 a month, it's too little. Netflix can get away with charging a small amount of money because you have such a wide audience with Netflix. With WWE, you have a specific fan base of people that watch wrestling, and there's not very much overlap where you can get non-wrestling fans to subscribe to the network. And I think that the other big mistake WWE made was overestimating their potential audience, thinking that any casual person who doesn't really watch wrestling would consider signing up for the network because of the low price and the amount of content that you get. But, that's just not the reality. You have a specific audience of people that buy the network, and that's it. So WWE is going to need to make some adjustments. First thing, I think two things are going to happen over the next year. First is the price increase. I think that that's fairly obvious, and I think that $9.99 a month is too little. I think that realistically, WWE could probably get away with charging $15 a month, and I think that most of their fan base would accept that. They wouldn't be happy with it, but they would pay the $15 a month. To get all the pay-per-views and all the content, all the WCW, ECW, WWE pay-per-views, the Clash of the Champions, and hopefully soon Raw and Nitro, that is a tremendous bargain. So I think that they will increase the price, maybe not to $15. Maybe they'll start off at like $12 and gradually work up. But that's one thing you can do, and I expect them to do that. And the other thing is maybe WWE made a mistake putting every pay-per-view on the network. Maybe they should have kept the major shows like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble on traditional pay-per-view. So maybe that was a mistake they made. It might be too late now to go back and have these shows on traditional pay-per-view. It might not work, but I could see them possibly for next year putting WrestleMania on traditional pay-per-view to make up for the lost revenue. So I'm expecting those two things to happen, and I think in the long run, the network will be a success, and it's way too soon to label it a failure, and WWE would be absolutely insane to even consider dropping the network at this point. All right, this one comes from Live Life Loudly. Hey Aaron, how long do you see this Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins feud going? It's cool right now, but how long will it take for this whole Dean stopping Seth from cashing in Money in the Bank briefcase thing to get old? Well, I could see it playing out for some time because I don't see Seth Rollins cashing in the briefcase anytime in the near future, especially if Brock Lesnar ends up being the world champion. So I could see Seth Rollins holding on to the briefcase maybe until WrestleMania or sometime next year, maybe after Roman Reigns wins the title. There's any number of different directions WWE can go, and anything's possible. But yeah, I do see this Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins feud going for some time, and maybe they'll even have a match at some point with the briefcase on the line. But yeah, I think it will be an extended feud, and at least for a couple months, we're going to be seeing Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins matches, which I have no complaints about. But having too many matches is a negative, and I'll get more to that in a minute about guys having too many matches. All right, this one comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. Do you have any idea what happened to Zack Ryder's Last Resort? Impact on Monday nights lasted longer. Not really sure what happened. I mean, there's any number of possibilities. One of them being that WWE put the Ixnay on it, and you know, they decided they didn't want him doing those shows anymore, and you know, he has to listen to them and then just stop doing them. The other is maybe he just lost his motivation. I mean, that's certainly possible, and maybe he just got tired of doing it. So, I mean, who really knows what happened? But I mean, it definitely didn't have the magic that his first show had when he first started doing it. You know, it just felt like nothing out of the ordinary. When he first started doing it, it was fresh, it was innovative, and it created a lot of buzz. And Last Resort didn't really have the same effect, unfortunately, for him. All right, this one comes from Mario LOL 11. Hey Aaron, what do you think about Triple H following Samoa Joe on Twitter? Do you think that there could be anything going on between them? It's funny how every little thing that happens on Twitter generates all this buzz and all this discussion. Sting posted a cryptic tweet and blew up the internet, basically. And a lot of people noticed this, Triple H following Samoa Joe. Honestly, I don't think it means anything. It's possible Triple H followed him so he could direct message him, or needed to ask him a question, or needed a contact. I mean, there's any number of reasons he could have followed him on Twitter. He quickly unfollowed him, so I'm guessing he needed to privately message him and get some kind of information from him. I don't think it has anything to do with Samoa Joe possibly going to WWE, but, you know, you never know. And it could mean something, but I think in all likelihood it probably didn't mean anything significant. All right, this one comes from Rapture619. What do you think about having a last man standing match on Main Event? Do you think it was a cheap way to get more viewers, and does it water down the stipulation and make it seem less important? Well, it's definitely WWE's way of trying, once again going back to earlier, to somehow find ways to get people interested in the network that haven't subscribed already. So, you know, they're doing whatever they can to try and boost the subscriber levels. So, you know, they're hyping up these big matches for Main Event. I don't really feel it cheapens the stipulation as long as they don't do it all the time. What I do have an issue with is having the same match over and over again. Please, WWE, no more Del Rio versus Sheamus matches. Please, I am so tired of those matches, and it seems like they've had at least 100 matches in the past 2 years on television. It's just gotten beyond ridiculous at this point, and I just feel like the next time they do a match, I'm just going to punch myself on camera here, because that's how fed up I am with it. Please, no more Sheamus versus Del Rio matches. Please. All right, this one comes from PFarbERJR. What are your top Attitude Era WrestleMania matches? Please answer in video and keep up the good work. Well, this is fairly easy here because, you know, there were only, when you think of the actual Attitude Era, you're thinking WrestleMania 14 through 17, and there weren't a lot of really high-quality matches at WrestleMania during that period. So the top ones, you know, I can think of right off the bat, most of them from WrestleMania 17, Steve Austin versus The Rock, and you could also include the WrestleMania 15 match if you want, and the TLC match with the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian, and then the match they had at WrestleMania 16, and then Triple H versus Undertaker from WrestleMania 17. Those would be my top Attitude Era WrestleMania matches. Very short list because, like I said, there weren't a lot of quality WrestleMania matches during that period, actually. All right, this one comes from Donnie1393. Hey Aaron, do you think Christian is the most underrated, underused, and undervalued wrestler of all time? He has had all the skills in the ring and on the mic to be a top guy in my opinion. Please answer in video. Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that he was the most underrated wrestler of all time, but underrated, yes, definitely. Especially around the time he left WWE in 2005, when his character was really starting to get over with the fans, and he seemed like he was building up some momentum when he came out and cut a promo on John Cena. You know, he got a big reaction from the crowd, and it really felt like he was at a turning point, and maybe he had a shot at becoming a top star in WWE. But then they quickly ended his push, and he got frustrated, and he went to TNA as a result. So, yeah, I definitely think that WWE dropped the ball with him, and they brought him back several years later, and he slowly worked his way up, and he did get a brief run as the world champion, had the feud with Randy Orton. But yeah, he probably could have done more in WWE as a top tier star, maybe not at Edge's level, but close to Edge's level. And he didn't really get anywhere near to Edge's level when you look at both of their careers. So yeah, I definitely feel he was very underrated, but probably not the most, or even close to the most underrated in history. All right, final question here from Chris Mace 39628. What's with all these numbers, people? Are they birthdays, or I never understood the numbers, or zip code? I don't even know. Please answer in video. What was your favorite year in professional wrestling that you would watch all over again on the WWE Network? Easy answer here, the Monday Night Wars. And there's some speculation that that's a reason why some people in the United States have been hesitant about signing up for the network, because the full Raw and Nitro archives aren't on the network yet. And, you know, that could be a valid point. That could be a reason. Although I'm thinking that with the WWE Network, people that were going to buy the network would have bought it, you know, prior to WrestleMania 30, and even those fans that haven't been watching wrestling in a long time, they would have subscribed to get WrestleMania 30. So I don't really know how many people are out there that are waiting just for Raw and Nitro, but there could be a sizable amount of people. Certainly that was the most exciting time in wrestling history, in my opinion, and I think most would agree with me, when you had WWE and WCW going at it every Monday night. There was